Whether you watching me on YouTube or TikTok, follow and subscribe when you get the chance. Help me build this community so we can not only talk about the problems, but figure out solutions. And let's get into it. What up, y'all? All right. If you are of the fairer sex and you have a problem with the truth, you might not want to listen to this one. Because there's some shit that I'm going to say. And some of it you might not like. But at the end of what I said, you can't say that I'm not right.
This is what you have to remember. The average black woman in America don't get no older than about 14. So just talk to her and deal with her like you dealing with a 14-year-old. Don't come at her like you dealing with an equal, because she's not going to be able to accept that. You got to go way back. And we cut off at about 14 to 15. We don't develop and mature no further until we get some new information and accept some different information.
I fear that the man I'm talking to, I'm his first baddie. I'm not saying like IG baddie. I hold my own. But
check it out. Some of y'all women need to humble yourselves. Y'all wonder why brothers not speaking to you no more. So all y'all baddies now, see, some of y'all clearly don't know what a baddie is. You can't just claim baddie. It don't work like that. You gotta be a 8, a 9, or a 10. If you not a 8, a 9, or a 10, you can't just be claiming baddie. And you gotta be that without no makeup. Not an inch of makeup. You gotta be A1 from the toes to the top of your head. You cannot have no BBL, can't be no surgeries. And you just can't claim this shit yourself. Somebody gotta call you a baddie. The car market is going through the same shit. Let me explain. Ford and Chevy trying to charge people $120K for Fords and Chevys. This is why them shits are sitting on a lot. Those are Mercedes and Lamborghini numbers. The purchaser, which would be the man in this case, dictates the price. Men say who's a baddie. You don't just get to be one. Like I said, a baddie needs no makeup. A baddie don't have a bunch of surgery. And when a baddie walk in a room, it's straight pressure. It's up. It don't got shit to do with your energy. This is all a physical thing. A lot of y'all got them BBLs and them veneers, and you feel like it rose your stock, and it didn't. You know why? Baby, your jeans are still ugly. Some of y'all got so much surgery. If a man have a kid with you, they won't even look like you. A lot of y'all say Jay-Z ugly, right? But B is so pretty, the daughter still came out fine. Y'all post-op Cardi B BBL broads can't do that. You better have a baby with a pretty boy, or them ugly jeans gonna shine through. And let that cat out the bag. Cardi had to spend money to look like Nicki. Now, I'm no fan of Nicki. Don't get it twisted. But what you can't call her is ugly. You cannot deny that face. When she was at her peak, from 18 to like 22, she was straight pressure. No makeup, straight pressure. Hair real, eye shape real, teeth real. Only thing fake is her ass. You can't be no baddie if you can't take that Remy off your noggin. Your goddamn head probably looking like a bird's nest up under that shit. You can't be no baddie if you can't take that Remy off your noggin. Cause if you do, the shit probably looking like a bird's nest up under that shit.
Just got back from a date with someone I met on Hinge. Let's call him Alan because that's his name. One thing I liked about Alan is that he didn't waste too much time. We talked for like a day and a half and he was like, hey, I want to go out. Let's go on a date. And I was like, all right, perfect. I love it. We ended up going to Crazy Sushi in Wesley Chapel. And if you know me in real life or you watch my videos, I love sushi. I talk about sushi often. Every time I go out to eat, I go out for sushi. And everything was fine until Alan saw the fucking menu. At Crazy Sushi, you have the option to do an all-you-can-eat buffet, which is $36 per person. When the server gave us the menu, Alan was like, is this $36 for both of us? It's per person. He was like, I'm on a budget right now. I can't afford much, and I'm trying to save money. You asked me to go out. He says, is this the only option? I said, when the server comes, ask him what else you can do. The server comes and says you can do a la carte, which means you're just paying for the roll. You're paying per roll. The server gives us the a la carte menu and he was like, yeah, these prices are way much better. Are you okay with doing this? I said, no. I said, no, when I go out to eat, I order what I want, I buy what I want, and I'm not gonna not get all you can eat sushi when I'm at a sushi place. I love sushi. I say, we're gonna order separately. I want the all you can eat and he's gonna do the a la carte. We go through the menu. I place my order. He places his order and he says, I'm sorry, like I'm on a budget right now. Are you okay with paying for your own food? I said, that's fine. The only reason I said that's fine is because I'm not gonna not get what the fuck I want at one of my favorite sushi places. Place my order, he places his order and he says, I'm sorry, like I'm on a budget right now. Are you okay with paying for your own food? I said, that's fine. The only reason I said that's fine is because I'm not gonna not get what the fuck I want at one of my favorite sushi places. He ends up ordering 2 things. I don't know how much it cost, but he also ordered a Diet Coke. Or is it Pepsi? It don't matter. He ordered a soda. The server did not bring him his soda. The server brings us our sushi, but I think he forgot about his Coke. And Alan's like, I'm gonna wait to eat because I can't eat without drinking. So he's just sitting there the entire time with no drink and not eating his food. And I'm about to order a second roll. He's like, I think he forgot about me. Should I wave him down? I said, do what you have to do to get your drink. Like, you're a man. Why do I need to tell you to get the fuck up? He starts going like this at the table. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Not even like waving his hands in the air so the server could see him. He's like, hello, hello. And I'm like mortified because what the fuck is happening? The server comes and he's like, you forgot my drink, brother. Like, oh, I'm sorry. He goes, gives him his drink. Then Alan has the audacity to say, can I have some melted butter? The server says, butter? He was like, yeah, can I have some butter to dip my sushi in? Who eats butter with sushi? Who does? That's a legitimate question. I did not know people eat melted butter with sushi. The server goes, we don't have butter here. People typically use the soy sauce or the spicy mayo. Anywho, we're having basic conversation. I already know I'm not seeing you again, but I'm about to eat my sushi and order more sushi to go. And he looks drowsy, very tired, and he keeps saying, I'm so tired, I'm so tired. Anyways, he goes to the bathroom, and then I ended up ordering pad thai to go and 2 more sushi rolls to go home with because it's all you can eat for $36. I'm gonna get my money's worth. He was in the bathroom, the server brought my pad thai, and when he comes to the table, he says, I thought you were done. Why are you rushing me? I said, I am done. He said, oh, I thought your food was going to be in a box. I said, I'm about to ask for a box. Why are you rushing me? He walks me to my car. He opens my door, put my sushi in the car, put myself in the car, skirt, skirt, Karika's going home. I get home. This nigga had the audacity to text me, to tell me it's not going to work out and he doesn't think we should continue seeing each other.
Then you got this one. Man, the last place you should be going is to a all-you-can-eat. I remember Bigums used to have a nice personality. But now they acting like 9s and 10s. A real man is not having it from a 9 or a 10. So what kind of drugs is she on to make her think she could get away with it? This is the same kind of chick online talking about she not settling. Oh, so y'all not settling. You think that fupa don't bother him? You think that hair hat don't bother him? A weave isn't him settling? Even though he said he don't like it for generations. Black men have been saying, we don't like weaves. How about them eyelashes that look like centipedes on your eyes? Yet regardless, some of them dudes deal with y'all. You think that's not settling? And this overweight butterball feminist just couldn't help herself to a free meal and a chance to meet a nice guy. No. She had to belittle him and nitpick every single thing she didn't like about him. Her personality was disgusting. Now, I personally can't see why he took her husky big body ass out. Maybe he liked him big. Or maybe he was just settling. Maybe she was on his level. That's something women have lost the ability to do. Because she probably met a 8 or 9. Or maybe she got lucky and hit a 10. She gave him the cheeks on a bad night he was having. Then he went power and got ghost on her ass. Now she feels like that's the level of man that she can get. Understand something. A man will stick his wang wang in a concrete hole in the wall if it was lubed up properly. We don't have to like you to bust them cheeks, ma'am. We just gotta be horned out enough. You know if a man likes you when he spend time with you, and he spend money, and he treats you well, or will put himself in harm's way to save you, that's when that man like you. Your egos have gotten so inflated from all the traffic in your DMs. She probably got used and abused by somebody way out of her league, and now all men are trash. All while being totally oblivious to her horrible treatment towards him. That's crazy. I've always said the more black people adopt white culture habits, the more damaged our culture becomes. There was no dating culture when I was coming up. We just took our girlfriends out. Because women had a real standard back then, and they didn't accept things from men that they had absolutely no interest in. We got to know each other before money was spent, by talking on the phone, or going outside, or going to each other's houses. Now, women don't want to do this unless you're spending $200-$300 taking her out for the first time, only for her to tell you that you aren't her type. They have a show called Three's Company. Janet and Chrissy always went out on dates with all these different dudes. Then you have shows like Sex and the City. They do the same bullshit, but it was a white girl's way of living. Then somehow black women adopted this bullshit, racking up body after body after body. Before you know it, you have slept with more men than you got fingers and toes. And all you got to thank for it is a pH balance that got the consistency of a toilet bowl. Understand, feminist women like Margaret Sanger created it. White women created that movement. And Margaret Sanger is quoted saying she wanted to exterminate black babies. She said it in a letter to Dr. Clarence Gamble using the Negro Project. Planned Parenthood is her doing. Since these black women like her like to live in an echo chamber and could care less about facts or truth, they adopted this way of life. They didn't even need to use bullets to kill no black babies. They needed black women. They put out movies like The Color Purple and every other Tyler Perry film he ever made to give them this mindset. Meanwhile, most men have never abused no woman. And most of these women have never been abused by a black man. They estimate 20 million black babies have been terminated since Roe v. Wade. The black population will be 100 million strong by now. You got brainwashed and used against men when we had no issues on the global scale. Black men try to save you from yourselves.
I know the troll's gonna come for me when I say this, but I don't have any kids yet. But mathematically, when I was doing the calculations, instead of having 5 kids by one man, it's more it's more financially beneficial for me to have 5 kids by 5 different men, especially in Texas, because there's a limit on how much child support you can get. So I'll make sure I have 5 different kids by 5 different men and make sure that they earn at least the max amount, you know, so I can get the max amount of child support every month from each child's father. Clocky.
Say to you gentlemen, okay? If you see me like out in public and I'm like in the middle of doing a transaction and you see that I'm about to pay for something, and 9 times out of 10 I'd already seen you look at me and I already can kind of tell you're probably attracted to me. So if I see that way before I pay for something, and then I'm physically paying for something and I notice that you are purposely avoiding watching me paying for that something, right? But as soon as I pay for that, you decide to try to talk to me, it's gonna be a no. You heard that? No. You just watch me pay for my and then decide to talk to me. Don't talk to me. You're not my type. I am not interested at all. If you want to talk to me after you saw me swipe that car, reimburse me or butt in and be like, hey, I'll take care of it.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
And we get criticized for it. They made you hate your hair so much. Many black women don't even know how to do their own hair.
And her own hair. Now, you said earlier about, well, there's a difference between black and white. That's why I told the story about my daughter, because my daughter said, well, okay, I understand that that little girl is white, but my mom is the same color as I am. She don't have hair like me. I'm by myself. And that's when I told her, Mom, you taking that crap out of your hair. From that day to the day that my daughter's grown now, she's never worn another wig. And as a matter of fact, her hair grows all the way down to her butt now. It's all the way down to her butt. Simply because she cared enough about her kid to say, if I care enough about everything else, what my kid eats and all of these things, I should care enough to teach my kid how to do her own hair. Because what happens when other people stop cutting their hair off and giving it to me? If I don't know how to do my hair, like one of the great things about knowing how to do other things, if they cut my electricity off, I know how to turn on my generator. If they turn my water off, I know how to make my own. A lot of times when you know how to do multiple things, even when it comes to hair, you'll watch so many people say, and I've heard it from you, and I've heard so many women say, I don't know how to do my own hair. But then I've watched these tutorials of how they know how to brush, comb, even boil the fake hair. So these are all things they had to learn in order to maintain the fake hair. They could have put the same energy in learning the other thing. Why is it that black males who play football, just like these girls who play basketball, have long flowing hair to where they be pulling it when they tackling them? They seem to know how to do their hair and grow their hair. And the black men, who I bet it would be easier for them to put on a white guy's toupee, because you could get hair that looked like it grew out of your scalp as an extension. But it seems like women prefer to get hair that look obviously like it didn't. Where does that come from? Do you think that's a part of, I guess, white supremacy?
Well, I don't believe in white supremacy. So, I mean, I guess that we would have different thoughts on that as far as white supremacy.
I don't believe in it either. I just know that
I think a lot of it, like I said, if I use the example from my mom, I think the the ideology is taught to their children. They teach them, like, you see how your daughter is coming and saying, hey, this, yeah, typically they would just give them weave, they would just put the weave in their hair and say it's not a problem. And that's where that comes from. Like I said, from a kid all the way up until I was an adult, my mom did this to my hair. Like, it's something that Black moms do to their children typically. So the children are left with no idea of how to maintain their hair. This is why Black women spend so much money on going to get their hair done, right? They spend money on going to get their hair done because they really don't know how to maintain it. They don't know how to do it. Okay. Where I mean, I guess in a way where they would feel comfortable, should I say? I don't know if that's the way to put that, in a way that they will feel pretty or feminine, if you will. But that is just a reality of what we went through and what we come from. I'm not trying to say like, yo, this is the way. Yeah, wigs are the way. I'm not saying that. I'm not here to say that. But I am here to say that, like, this is just our experience as little girls growing up by single mothers, because I grew up by a single mother. So this is my experience with her. She got my hair done. She put weave in my hair. And that's all I knew coming up, of how to maintain my hair, how to wear my hair. I never went through a phase where we were wearing froze or we were wearing our natural hair, and that was a thing. Like, that was never a thing for us. So when you think about growing up in something that is not a thing, and then you try to tell me to make it a thing, like, yo, you don't love yourself because you're not making this thing a thing. It's like, well, this is kind of how we were raised. And I understand that you could definitely understand how to maintain your hair. Like I said, a lot of Black women, like you said, your wife, her hair is down to her butt. A lot of women they feel like they don't know how to maintain their hair, but they have hair under it. You know what I'm saying? They have the hair, but maybe it do come from self-hate. I don't know. I like, it's not one of the topics that I like typically. I have done zero research on this topic. Literally, the stuff that I know is just stuff that I've stumbled across. I've done zero research because I just have my topics where I'm like, okay, what do I want to talk about? And typically, I like to talk about things that are, like, to me, that I feel like is like, critical, like, we need to critically talk about this. And personally, I don't have children, you know what I mean? So because I don't have children, I don't have that same mindset as you, as where you're like, well, my kid is not going to see that, which I can understand. Like, my kid is feeling like this, we're going to have to cut this out. I understand that, I understand that mentality. But for me, I don't have kids, and I don't have to, that's not something I have to think about, even though I do think about, yes, I want to have kids, So I do think about this, as far as, like I told you, I cut my hair off. I didn't cut my hair off because I just wanted to cut my hair off and I thought it was be fun and I wanted to do a Britney Spears. I cut my hair off because I was like, you know what? I'm going to start over, and I'm going to grow out my natural hair, and I'm going to try to learn how to maintain my natural hair. That's why I cut my hair off. And it's people, like you said, like, you can do this to weave, you can do this to weave, and you can do this to weave. Why can't you do this to your hair? Well, a lot of the part of why you can't do this to your hair, because with weave, you can put heat on weave. But you put heat on your hair, you're going to kill your hair. And that's the problem. That's why a lot of Black women don't wear their hair, because, yeah, our hair is like curly naturally. My hair is not curly. It is just nappy. I have nigga hair. Okay. That's how I would put it. It's not curly. It's not straight. It's just nigga hair. Okay.
Mild shock.
Many have something called traction alopecia. We said stop putting chemicals in your hair. It's making you sick. Years later, they find out relaxing is causing women to get fibroid cancer. Many of you traded a man for welfare and Section 8, so you didn't have to listen to the one person that was trying to protect you. Then the next thing you know, y'all gotta protect all women. I'm not protecting no woman that don't listen to me. It's not happening. So I tell you, don't go outside wearing that crazy stuff. Some dude come slap you on the ass and you want to come get me? No, it's not happening. Instead, you take living like a prostitute as empowerment. You have raised a bunch of emotional males that have the temperament of their mother. You blame men. How can you blame men when y'all raised them? The black community is in shambles because of the so-called leadership of a lot of you black women. Your excuse for being so mean and evil and insufferable is because it's so hard in America. Understand this. Mexican women come from a country where every other government official is corrupt. Cartels run the entire country. And a large part of the population is in abject poverty. So much so, people's heads are chopped off for going against them. Them cartels are serious out there. Yet, their women are some of the most feminine women on the planet. They treat their men with respect. And some of them sell oranges on the side of the road. A black man that has a regular job gets no respect.
Could you be in love with a garbage man? For you.
For me, why we always revisit this conversation?
Because you just said it. It doesn't matter. You're in love.
No, because it doesn't matter. But also for me, like, I know what I like.
It doesn't, but it do?
No, I'm saying I'm not going to put somebody on retainer and say they need to owe me this type of money to be in a relationship, to be in love. None of those.
But
you don't know.
Garbage man.
You met him on vacation in Cabo. Y'all having fun. You having a good time. He's been on vacation for a leave of absence for a month. He tells you something else. You really like him, but he got to go back to work soon.
See, but that's not a money thing. For me, that's a preference thing because I want to be with somebody that I think matches me. Mm-hmm. So if I can't put that to the table, then I can't expect you to. But if I can, I definitely expect you to.
What I'm saying is, why wouldn't he match you? Because he picked garbage up?
I mean...
Because he got an honest living?
No, honest living is fine, but I definitely want somebody that can match me. Like,
it doesn't pick garbage up.
I mean, I don't pick garbage up.
No, I'm talking about him. No, I'm saying
he makes the community safe and
right.
I love if you make the community safe. That's
clean.
Dope. That's great for somebody else.
Okay, there we go. That's all I want to get to.
That's great for somebody else.
She's not going to be a guard with a garbage man. What does that make you?
I think it's... Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Even many of the millionaire black men get publicly humiliated by their wives. Ask Steph Curry.
Come on, bro. Aisha Curry on the set of this talk show. This man walks out, flexing king, and she gestures taking off her wedding ring. This is heinous. She disrespect the NBA greatest shooter for a waitress. This could never be a flex. His muscles ain't as strong as his level of disrespect. Man, I don't understand this, however. I told y'all Savannah would never. I know Steph looking like this, my dude. This must be some humiliation ritual. All of this is ill. To take this disrespect, you gotta be a warrior for real.
Show me an unusual picture on your phone.
Ooh, unusual.
Yeah,
make
unusual.
it good, girl. You got some. Come on. Make it good. Make it good.
Okay, I think this is good.
Show it to the camera.
What is that? What is it?
What is that?
It's your feet.
What are you doing?
Okay, what's the story?
So, this is gonna turn into a whole other thing, but my husband really loves my feet.
Oh, I love that.
And so, like, the light was hitting him just right that day. And so I was like, let me just snap this photo and send him a picture of my feet. So I always say, like, when he says to send nudes, like, that's what he's getting, a picture of my bare feet. I don't know if he's happy about that, but that's...
Okay. All right. Send nudes. Here are my bare feet.
Here are my toes, unpolished.
It's like foot porn. That's what this is.
You see?
Yeah,
You do have nice feet. You do have really beautiful feet. Come through Gucci loafers
All
next
right,
to it,
girl.
too.
Now we know something about him. He like feet.
Sisters. He's going to kill me.
Am I saying all men are perfect? Absolutely, positively, unequivocally not. Am I saying the ones that would treat you good get called corny like Michael B. Jordan? Exactly. So instead, they gotta wait for you to be abused by someone like Future. Then a Russell Wilson type has to come and clean up all that shit. You celebrate degeneracy like Cardi B sleeping with another man while pregnant with her husband's child. She went from being a wife to being cheated on by the man she disrespected her husband with, and then got pregnant again, only to become single after it's all said and done. She could have stayed and worked it out with her husband. Instead, she made a bad situation worse, which is what a lot of women do. She wanted to get that lick back. How'd that work out for her? Now, maybe she'll still find a sucker to accept her having 3 or 4 baby daddies. But she Cardi B. She got millions. The majority of y'all don't. Trying to replicate that same behavior won't work out so well for you. Plus, you refuse to see your faults. So busy playing victim like Big Back Betty. When is that shit gonna stop? That's all we want to know as men. I'm personally married. I didn't have to go through none of this. But there's no way in my good conscience that I could tell a younger man, yo, go find the right one. 'Cause 9 times out of 10, he not gonna be able to find her. But y'all got this thing with y'all where y'all try to play these games now. A lot of women become the man that they want and think that's what attract men. We try to tell you we different. We don't like that stuff. We don't care about you having a bunch of degrees. We don't care that you make all this money. Oh, I make 100,000. I make this, I make that. So what? We don't care. We'll take a beautiful woman that work in McDonald's that got a beautiful personality over a quote unquote boss chick. She a boss chick, but she ain't got no employees, mind you. She got a job or a career, and it's done changed her whole mentality. All of a sudden now, she thinks she better than you. And don't make less than she do. Oh man, that's just not acceptable. So it don't matter how good you treat her. It don't matter that you gonna be loyal. None of this stuff matters. They all shooting for that 1%. Or maybe even the 5%. Maybe the 10%. But once you get down to the average dudes, nah, they don't want that. So if you a good-hearted man and you making $60,000 a year, what's up? Like, he can't get no play right now. And it's a shame because a lot of you women is not even qualified for the top 15% of men. Especially that top 1%, them dudes that's making 500,000, $1 million, shit, you're not qualified for him. But you want to live in this delusion. And then the next thing you know, you're 30 plus and you don't have nobody. And then you're going to see how real it get. Because winter is here. It ain't coming. That shit is here. And it's about to get real cold on these streets. Peace.